2008. Thank you for
Can you have
coming
attention
tonight.
here, please?
I want to give special thanks to Stamps Chiropractic and especially Sherry Bagley. Thank you for
Thank you,
coming and
Sherry.
opening up.
You're welcome.
And we always try to give our support to the people that help our mission. And our mission is to educate our members and the public about living an organic, sustainable, and natural lifestyle. However, and here comes the disclaimers. I love these.
He actually does one of these?
Yeah, I do them all the time. Disclaimer. The information in any literature provided or products recommended is not intended for the purpose of diagnosing, treating, curing, or preventing any disease. Advice and suggestions offered here tonight are the opinions of the individual speaking and do not constitute legal or medical advice. Do not discontinue medical care without first consulting with a qualified health care provider. This information is provided under the Constitution of the United States of America.
Damn, where'd you get that?
I've got a whole page of disclaimers. If you want to become a member, I have a membership list. All you have to do is sign your name. If you do not wish to be a member, please do not sign. And here's a pen.
So I'm already doing this.
Yes, please. We'd like to know who's been coming. We do not share our phone numbers or email addresses with anyone except those who volunteer to make reminder calls, and so far that's just been me. Our meetings last 2 hours. First hour is devoted to learning about organic gardening. Thus, Mr. Bruce Deuley is here tonight. And our second hour is devoted to organic and sustainable living. We always start with introductions. My name is David Will. I'm the founder of the Organic Living Club and Chief Hellraiser. Excuse me.
Chief Cook and Bottle Wash.
That's right. We'll start over here with another David. Introduce you.
This doesn't work, then we'll do something else. See if that'll work. Thanks. I brought my machine, but I think his is gonna work. Yeah, it is. That is so cool. I love it when things work. Well, it won't go backwards. What am I gonna do? Is it going backwards?
Just keep going forwards.
All right, I'll skip the first page. Don't worry about it. Why go organic? Why are we talking about organic fertilizers? What is going on with the earth and the way we're treating it? This guy at Liebig started back in the 1800s, and he's the man that decided that nitrogen, NPK, was the thing to do to grow everything. And he really unintentionally started chemical fertilizer as we know. Back then he didn't know you could make it from petroleum. Do you all realize that all the fertilizer you're using, if you don't go organic, is made from petroleum? About 7 to 11% of everything we bring into the nation is converted to fertilizer to go on our fields. So even though we're doing about 20-some% of our pollution is cars, another 20 or 25 is our cows belching methane, and I don't want to get into that. But industry, the agriculture department also puts out about as much as automobiles do, mostly because of the way we treat our agriculture. The third most, one of the biggest inputs is the fertilizer. So when you add up the fact that not only do we use the fertilizer that is chemically made, we bring it in trucks, and we make it from petroleum. When you add that all together, a significant amount of the problem in petroleum that we have is agriculture. Now, I don't want to stop feeding us. Don't misunderstand me. Liebig came up with this idea. This is where it gets to be organic, and he didn't know it. I love his barrel, and what he tried to illustrate here is here's all your zinc and magnesium and coppers and borons and everything that you want. And his point of this barrel was you can only have soil as good as the weakest mineral that your plant needs. In this case, he happened to choose nitrogen, and nitrogen was down here. Well, that's as much as that barrel will fill up. So if we give it more nitrogen, we get up here, then the next weakest thing may be calcium. Do you see what I mean? And what we're trying to do here is keep our soils, our life force in balance. And we don't do that when we use NPK. When you put NPK out year after year after year, where does it get boron? Where does it get copper? Where does it get manganese? Where does it get magnesium? Nowhere. Because that bag has none of that in there. So as you use up and keep putting more nitrogen and phosphorus and potassium on the soil, but you don't re-energize the soil with the other minerals, this barrel keeps getting lower staves. You see what I mean? Then let's say you can bring this nitrogen all the way up to here. You can put enough nitrogen out there, but it's not going to work because what are we going to do about calcium? We haven't had any of it. Do you see the difference? And so what we want to do when we naturally, and the word organic's been beat to death. I'm always scared of it sometimes. When we naturally re-energize our soils, we put all those minerals back in, we put all that organic matter. Remember, the one thing that we don't put in when you use synthetics ever is carbon, is sugar. Okay? That's where we're missing it. We're not putting organic matter back on the soil. The Rio Grande Valley, when they started growing vegetables and fruits down there, mostly fruit, the average amount of organic matter in the soil was in excess of as much as 7 or 8%. Kay Chandler now owns Texas Plant and Soil Lab. He can't find any soil in the valley that has 1/2 of 1% organic matter anymore. It's gone.
Oh, they are?
They're growing those fruits hydroponically. They're forcing what they need to grow those fruits in there, but there's no value left in the soil at all. We've just eaten it up because we didn't replace organic matter. Let's see if I can make this work. This ought to be a real challenge. Oh, why is this not going to do this? It doesn't matter. Here you go, folks.
I think it may be because you're sitting on top of that.
Do you think it is?
So, we had that same problem.
Yeah, let's just set this. If this don't work, it's all right. I can do it. Let's see if this works. No, it's not going to do it. There it is. Okay.
Point it at the projector.
Oh, yeah, that'll work. What is nutrient pollution? The level of nutrients, the nitrates, phosphorus, and fresh water. What we're doing, folks, you have to read this. As of last year, there was 7,900 square miles of the Gulf of Mexico that was physically dead. It had such low oxygen that animals couldn't live in it. Now we have a new one to contend with. We just found a 377 square mile area off the coast of Texas that's dead. Now when we say it's dead, you go out there in your boat, you float around, you still see a fish. You think everything's normal. You know what's dead? The bottom 6 feet. Well, where do our shrimp come from? Where do our mollusks come from? Where do the feeder fish all survive? They all survive down there underneath, and we've killed it. The oxygen level is below 0.04. Animals need 0.06 parts per million basically to survive. And this is all from nutrient pollution. It's not poison, it's not pesticides and herbicides, although I have my issues with those. It's that we're putting too much nitrogen and too much phosphorus, and in some cases too much potassium, all along the Mississippi River, and now all along the San Antonio River and the Brazos River and the Nueces River, and we're pouring it into one little cesspool that used to be one of the most beautiful gulfs in the world called the Gulf of Mexico. And we're killing the water that we survive on. We've got to quit it. We have got to quit. Our method was, yes.
I hear something on the radio about the Medina River, the Dos Rios.
Mm-hmm.
The water's cleaner before it comes in than when it goes out.
That's right. It's absolutely amazing what we're doing to our rivers. And there's 1,400 rivers, I think the real exact number is 1,420 rivers in the United States today that, especially if you're a woman that's going to get pregnant, you have a fetus, or you ever want to have a child, you shouldn't even walk in the water. You should never eat the fish. You should never let your children play in the water, especially if they're neonates before they're 3 years old. 1,400 rivers in our country that we've poisoned to the point that it's dangerous to approach them. There's something wrong with a society, with a group of people that is intelligent as we are, that we are not able to prevent that. My brother worked for Dow Chemical, the Colorado River, is that the one that goes down there? Between Dow and the Gulf of Mexico, when he was working there, the Brazos, didn't have a living organism.